Hello guys, MDA here. Today we are watching Super GANGPLANK reroll comp. This is the older game which I have recorded this week, and I thought it would be nice to show you and make a voiceover for this video. So let's get right into it. And before we start to analyze the game, I need to remind that this is PBE game, so I'm not making every decision like I would play as a ranked game. So I will make some pointers where I'm doing something different what I'm usually doing, but I will announce it later. And as we can see in this game, we started with AP component item. Usually I'm not starting with the AP item because my strongest comps are usually AD, so be absurd, or if I want to build up around it, I usually take bow or belt, but as you can see, we didn't have a luck in this game in the circle, so broad, it's sometimes okay. We can make a Windsor Blade, or if the game is giving us some AP comps, which I'm not that familiar in set 8 yet, we can start to make AP comps, but luckily we are getting some curve to the comps which I'm more familiar with. And here, based on the decision that I will go for the GANGPLANK, I choose the Celestial Blessing as a first augment because overall it's really good augment and it can be good for other comps also. So I'm not binding my game towards something specific. So I have more options to choose which build should I go for. But yeah, here I'm starting having a plan for the making a losing streak because GANGPLANK itself is a tier 1 reroll comp. So what's the plan here? We need to make a weak board for the losing streak so we can start to build up gold, so we have enough gold for making the reroll after 2-7 turn. So we are rolling for in the 3-1 to get at least GANGPLANK 3 and other possible units what we need for this specific comp. In this comp we are favoring tier 1 Renekton, tier 1 Sylas, tier 2 Fiora and Camille. All those units are available in level 4, and in level 4 it's more easier to get the GANGPLANK level 3 than level 5, so we are in more favor to roll down in 3-1 and get the GANGPLANK 3 as fast as possible so we can try to level up from there when we are ready with the GANGPLANK. Next, what we should do is to calculate for the economy building. So here I'm looking for, am I able to get 10 gold collected so I can start to build up my economy. But because we couldn't get 10 gold full, I'm just trying to buy all the tier 1 units from the shop, so it would be more likely to hit those GANGPLANKs after the shop refreshes. As we are waiting for second circle, let me know if these commentaries are useful for the videos, if they're good content, are they necessary, I don't know if they make any flavor for these videos, but let me know. Tell me in the comments. So here we need to start to check what item components we need for the items. So for the GANGPLANK, we would like to have a Hands of Justice, Titan's Resolve and Blue buff. And what we can see, we are losing all the parts that we are needing for this item, so we need to come up for the secondary plan. So any supporting items for tanks would be nice. We have 2 rod pieces and a bow, so we are not in a good place here. Also, I'm not enjoying our situation with winning streak here, because for my personal experience, the best way to build up the economy gold is to have a losing streak, because it's 100% or usually a really high chance to keep it going. So there's no chance to lose it, so there's more money with the bigger streak. But with the winning streak, either we need to make risks and keep our level high so we can play multiple minions, but the problem is that we need to stay low level so we can roll lower tier units. So in this comp, the winning streak, it is a viable tactic, but it's not the best one. Me, for myself, would love to have a rather losing streak than winning streak, but let's see where we are getting with this. Well, it seems we are lucky enough to keep our winning streak going, and we are starting to build up the gold pretty nicely. 44 gold in 7-2 is quite good, even though over 50 gold would be the most optimal situation, because the more gold you have, the more chances and rolls you will have to succeed with the GANGPLANK 3. And we are still looking the last super unit, which is Lee Sin in this set. So Lee Sin, small fights, get that GANGPLANK 3. That's will be our goal in this roll-up. You're starting to notice that we are getting those units what we are looking for, but for some reason the shop is offering us a lot of free buys for this comp, even though I would rather focus for Lee Sin and GANGPLANK and Malphite pickups, because those 3 units are the supers and those are the most valuable units for this specific comp. So let's see what we are getting from this risk to go for y3, and yeah, let's see what happens. And here we are getting to choose our second augment. From these three, I was making a decision that yeah, Ascension would be nice and Exia Mark goes well with GANGPLANK 2, but overall Knife's Edge would be a best option from these three. We are still struggling to get super units what we are looking for. We are missing only one weave at the moment, 2 GANGPLANKs. Getting that Malphite 2 is really good. I'm surprised that we are not getting more super units, because I think we were scouting the other players and no one was going for this specific comp, so the units should be free in our shop. So I'm really confused by this situation. And I said at the start of the video, I'm doing something different what I'm usually doing in my ranked games, and in this situation I have destroyed totally my economy. Usually you should not be in this situation with the money less than 10 gold. You should have around 20-30 gold after rolls in 3-2. So we are really poor at the moment, but I was desperate to get V3 and GANGPLANK 3, so I was willing to take the risk because it's PBE. I was not minding that I'm low in cash, so we took the risk in the mind that we are getting those possible units what we need. And it seems we are in luck in this game. We are still keeping the winning streak going, so money is flowing towards us, even though our money situation is overall poor. And we are getting these Lee Sins apparently, and still looking for GANGPLANK and that we. By the way guys, if you have opinion for this upcoming set 8, feel free to comment down below that what's your thoughts for the set at the moment. Are you enjoying it? What's your favorite thing in this set with your favorite units? And if you have any comments towards these upcoming changes, let me know. Let's discuss these together in the comment section. Okay, we are coming for the circle round 3. Again, we are still looking for optimal items for the GANGPLANK. Seems like we are not in luck towards the items. We are really missing the needed PCs for optimal items for the GANGPLANK, but it doesn't say that we don't build anything for him. Remember guys, even though you are not getting the items what any kind of guides are telling you, you have always options. You can always build around the items you have, and at least you need to use those components. You should never leave the items you have in the bench to just stay in the bench that you can get that dream item set for your comp. Always use your components for the items and make your comp stronger so you can stay longer in the game. So we are getting closer and closer for the top 4, and possibly in that way we are not losing any LP in that specific game. But luckily we are in PBE, so LP doesn't matter here. We are just playing for fun, we are testing, and we are just trying to stay longest in the lobby so we can try to take this build to the maximum and see how far we can evolve this specific comp. Here at the side, what I'm like to see, those golden banners. So we are getting B3 here, still looking for GANGPLANK, desperately trying to get this unit done so we can start to level up and get more units in. Before this game I haven't really tried to build up V3, but as you can see with Dragon Claw and as a level 3 unit, this lady is taking it like a champ. They're not even making a small dent to her. As I'm watching this record afterwards, as you can see, I'm rolling between the ground phase, which you should never do. In these situations, you should always hold up your gold. After this phase, in 4-1, if you need, you can roll. But before the 4-1 turn, you should never roll. Always wait after the ground phase. And there it is, our win condition, GANGPLANK 3, let's go! And you would like to be in this situation 3-1, so we are one stage late, which is unfortunate, but hey, we got it. We are in win streak, so we are in good position. Maybe poor, we don't have any gold, but we are still in good position. The only big thing is that now we really need to get those items for our units, what we are looking for. And here we are getting the last augment. As I said just a second ago, we are looking for those items to be done. So in this situation, our grab bag is really good pick for that thing comes in mind. Now we just need to be lucky. And no, not so good. Totally different what we had in mind in the first place. We are swimming in these rods, unfortunately. But we are not in the panic still. We still have one circle, and after that we are getting into our monster stages where we can start to choose our components or the loot what the smiths include. So we are not in the panic here, but it's not a good situation. We are totally having wrong components for this comp. Around this time I was thinking that wow, what a high roll game. As soon as we hit the V3, a few rounds later we are getting the GANGPLANK finally, and as soon as we get the GANGPLANK we are getting Lee Sin, so yeah, the game is looking really good at this point. After we get the items we want to have, I think we are really in good position to be in top 3 at least, and maybe to win the whole thing. Again, our favorite time, playing with the circle, hoping that people are leaving us the components what we are really looking for besides these rods. Also, I was thinking about using a spatula. Options are we are either getting other spatula so we can get extra unit for the team, or we are getting other bow so we can make the duelist emblem. So then we just need to add other duelist unit to the comp so we can get the 4 duelist buff, so we could greatly increase our attack speed buff from the duelist trait. At this point of the game we are going for level 7 because our core comp is complete. Now our only job is to get as fast as possible to level 7 and level 8 and finally level 9 to add those needed support units, which will secure our number 1 spot at the end of the game. While we are going towards the smith phase where we are getting more loot, we should look for level 2 units what we are still missing. So in this position we can look for more Alistar what we are holding at the bench. We are still looking for more Sonas and 2 upcoming support units which can be whatever legendary supports or other units which will amplify our damage. And we are still missing the 1 extra duelist unit, which can be anything. It doesn't matter really as long as we are feeling that the duelist 4, the buff itself is plenty enough to buff our current comp. Here we have a new Dragon Vault system in set 8. Instead of Dragon Vault, we are getting these bosses, which after we beat them, we are getting the same loot what we could get from Dragon Vault, but the twist is that we can actually choose which kind of loot we are getting from these bosses. As we can see here, now we have a chance to choose what we want. Although these are not really good options towards the GANGPLANK items, which we are still missing, so we just take the best option towards the future items. Jumping in this part of the game, this is actually the first round when we are losing our huge 17 rounds streak, and the reason for this is just for the lack of items. but situation can be changed. Sad times, but it's okay. We are getting there. We just need at least some components that we can get some decent items, or we can try to get full item from this upcoming circle, which is here. All the goodies are being taken from us. And we decided to go for a Zephyr because, well, it's not the most best item in this situation because we are still looking for the core items, but in the late game that item can be situational the best slot item if we need to make some plays with it. At least we are going for level 8 in this point of the game, so we can get our Duelist 4 trait buff online, which will give us a great boost towards the upcoming battles. In this point of the game, I'm really worried about our overall damage because our GANGPLANK is missing a lot of items, but in this specific situation our level 3 which was not supposed to be in our team, actually clutches the situation, and we turn out that almost losing spot for our own round win. And here we are seeing potential level 9 game support. There's a Janna, which is really good support in this upcoming set. Good utility, giving our whole team possible buffs. We can take her to the bench to be ready for upcoming level 9. Now our only options are to save up some money for level 9 and still try to get the most optimal items for the GANGPLANK, considering what components we have and what we can get from the circle, the full items. In this point of the game, it's really tricky to get the most optimal items because we are not getting any more components if we are don't including these boss drops, but we can still play around the RNG, so we can hope to get the most wanted pieces what we want and trust the luck, or we can build up for the second best options, which is still scaling with GANGPLANK's abilities. And we can see here that these items are not the ones which I'm wanting, not Titan's Resolve, not Blue Buff, which would help our GANGPLANK. Secondary items maybe, but we still decided to choose a new item, Guard Breaker, which is whenever you break the enemy's shield, you get additional buff to your attack damage, and we decided to put it to V. I was still doubting that I would like to put this item to the GANGPLANK. Maybe it was a wrong choice, but we decided to put it to V. It's a good secondary place to put it. I'm still having hopes that we can get better items, which scales better with GANGPLANK. As we are going to see here, in this situation, Zephyr was really clutching this round of the match because we got the enemy team's carry up in the air while our other teammates are smashing his whole team to ground, and actually the Zephyr gave us victory here, which the enemy team is pinging at the moment. I mean, it's a rat move to put the Zephyr in the last seconds of the start of the round, but hey, win is a win. And if you're guys wondering what is this loot table here, this is the feature of the new underground trait, that whenever you are collecting 9 stacks to your underground trait, you get a vault where you can choose these loot tables to pick them or not to pick them. If you don't pick them when you get them first time, you can continue the heist, and if you keep building up this upcoming stacks, the loot gets better in the vault. So yeah, it's a new feature. You can investigate it by yourselves, or maybe if I'm willing to make a pure underground comp, then I can explain it more better. But in this game we got some money and a reforge item from the underground vault, so we got to make those secondary items for our GANGPLANK, which made a huge difference our latest matchup. And now we can focus for the upcoming last rounds of the game. We are in level 9. We are getting our legendary support level 2 in next round. We are already in top 2 position, and yeah, it started to look really good. I think in these last rounds the only issue is that how we are positioning the upcoming matches, so let's hope we can make until the end. Here we can see that I just barely missed the Janna's hex where her buff is hitting for our teammates, so Sona is not in that hexagon where the buff is engaging. So if I would say how I can make this faster, I should practice more last seconds placing to make sure that every unit in my team is getting all the possible buffs, so I can't complain at the end if I lost that specific round, that oh, I lost just that because I didn't get those buffs. So if we make sure that our setup is ready for the upcoming round, we can secure those wins. So here we got our placement nicely corrected from the last round, so we can easily secure win for this specific round, and maybe if we secure good placement for the maybe last upcoming round, we can secure the win for the whole match. So here we can make the final adjustments to our comp with upcoming possible new items. I don't know how can we upgrade our comp anymore in this point of the game, but maybe some magic resist items, because enemy team is AP damage based comp, so that would give us some resist, and maybe that will secure our win. Well, maybe we were not the luckiest ones with the item drops, but at least they are not useless there are some tank items. They're good in this point of the game also. And now, last adjustments, checking the components, getting some mana regen for our support, and hope for the best with positioning. And looks like our enemy surrendered. Thanks guys a lot for watching this video until the end, and I will see you next time. Take care, bye now. Subscribe.